Hi everyone, and welcome back to Prep Set Go. Today we'll be kicking off the first of a three-part video series on tiling applications, and specifically tiling over different types of surfaces, and not just your typical or conventional surfaces like concrete, plasterboard or fibre cement sheeting. We'll be exploring the scenarios when you might come across these different surface types, the risks and associated challenges, as well as simple tips and recommendations on how to tackle it. So sit back, get comfortable, make yourself a nice cup of tea or perhaps something stronger as we dive right in. In this video, we'll be exploring the ins and outs of tiling over timber floors. So when might you come across timber flooring? Well, it's actually quite common, particularly in new construction in double-storey dwellings. Particle board, often referred to as yellow tongue, is often used as the upper storey flooring. It comprises wood chips of various sizes combined with synthetic resins and compressed into boards. Protective wax coatings are often applied over for extra durability and weather resistance during the construction phase. Now, renovations is an obvious example when you may encounter timber surfaces, often in the form of old strip timber or floorboards. So what are the risks of tiling over timber surfaces? The challenges with tiling over timber are not necessarily to do with the adhesion to the surface, but more to do with the contrasting properties of the two materials, timber versus ceramic. Now, timber is a natural product. It's soft, pliant, and prone to movement, expansion, and flexing under load and exposure to moisture and humidity. While tiles, on the other hand, are typically hard, rigid, and unyielding. So this may give you some idea where the potential issues may lie. The biggest risk involved with tiling directly over timber surfaces is cracking and delamination of the tiles caused by movement and expansion of the timber, and something called surface deflection. Surface deflection is defined as a surface's vertical change in distance as a result of an applied, either static or dynamic, load. Imagine the surface is a straight line and a weight or load is applied over an area of the floor. Now, deflection is measured as the distance the surface moves or deflects from its original starting point. Now, while there is no standard test for testing surface deflection, there are rudimentary ways of observing deflection in a floor surface. For example, jumping up and down on the surface and observing and feeling the flexing underfoot, listening for creaking noises, or seeing if objects on the floor vibrate or move. All these would indicate a level of deflection in the surface. So how to deal with timber floors and reduce surface deflection before tiling? Well, one of the most common and accepted ways to nullify the effects of timber expansion, movement, and surface deflection is by installing CTU or cement tile underlay. Often available as a standard 6mm compressed fibre cement sheet, it's laid perpendicular to the direction of the timber flooring and nailed directly to the timber. It provides added rigidity to stabilise the surface, reducing deflection by acting as a buffer, absorbing any minor shifts and movement in the timber. Furthermore, it provides a compatible surface for tiling and is moisture resistant. Interestingly, particle board flooring manufacturers are shifting away from recommendations for direct tiling and recommending the installation of tile underlay. For older structures with strip flooring or floorboards, the process of shoring and strengthening the surface may be a little bit more involved. Checking and replacing damaged or rotted joists, attending to moisture-related issues, installing extra joists and bracing are just some of the ways this can be done. Oftentimes, laying of CTU is just not sufficient over older floors when considering the anticipated loadings and traffic volumes, anticipated moisture exposure, such as wet areas in bathrooms, and the overall longevity of the system. It may require the removal of existing flooring and replacement with thicker, conventional compressed fibre cement sheeting. Allowances for movement joints in overlaid CTU or conventional fibre cement sheeting plays a critical role in localising movement in the floor. Recommendations for the placement and location of movement joints is specified in the CTU or fibre cement sheeting manufacturer's fixing details, as well as the Australian standard AS 3958 for the installation of ceramic tiles. And it is vitally important that these recommendations are observed. Placement of movement joints are subject to maximum floor spans around perimeter of rooms and columns. It's important these movement joints are not bridged, but are carried up through the tile and joints sealed with a flexible sealant. Tile size is also an important consideration. Essentially, the larger the tile, the more susceptible they are to the detrimental effects of surface deflection. The strain on the tile is amplified across a larger surface plane. Smaller tiles, on the other hand, are able to distribute the load and surface deflection more evenly, reducing the strain on the tile and adhesive and minimising the risks of cracking. The AS 3958 tiling standard specifies the permissible deflection range for small, medium and large format tiles, so again, always refer to this document for details. Selecting the right adhesive is another crucial element for dealing with added movement and deflection experienced with timber flooring. S2 classified adhesives are highly deformable, designed to provide a strong surface bond while accommodating minor movement. And as always, refer to manufacturers' recommendations and relevant technical data sheets for advice on tiling over different substrates. In summary, tiling over timber floors is a viable option when acknowledging the challenges and employing practical solutions and precautionary measures to ensure the longevity of the tiling system. And when in doubt, speak to manufacturers and industry experts, follow relevant product technical data sheets, and be diligent in doing your research before commencing any application. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social media for more informative videos and tips. Thank you for joining us again on this episode of Prep Set Go. If you have any questions or would like to share your own experiences or insights with anything we cover in our videos, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time.